Dave, Saturday marks the start of a really busy period for you, really taking you into the new year now. But I guess with the form you're in, you must be relishing every single game at the minute.
Yeah, we go into it in a good place. Looking forward to what's in front of us, but as you say, it's the time of the year where it is a busy period in terms of the schedule. It's especially busy if you're involved in different competitions as we are, and you have outside distractions. I suppose this time of the year with Christmas coming up and families and all those types of things. So it is a challenge, but alongside that, ultimately it does become a pivotal period and a really important period. So for us to go into the form that we are in a good place is something that we wouldn't change.
In terms of team news, injuries, how are we looking going into Saturday?
Okay, bit of a setback after the game with Campsey in terms of a minor issue with his other shoulder. An incident happened in front of the dugout. Again, a freak incident. So he's been scanned. He's not really serious, but I imagine we'll have to let that settle. So puts him at doubt for the weekend. But apart from that, we were getting healthier, and hopefully over this period we'll continue to get healthier, because we've gone through a little bit of, I suppose, heartache in terms of having players out and having those injuries, and that's not something that we want to sort of stack up, if you like. We've got important players out at the moment, but we've managed to find a way to deal with that and adapt to continue the run going that we're on.
Shame for Campsey, he's obviously come off the bench in the last two games and had a decisive impact, and I guess that kind of epitomises what you're going to need from your squad over this next couple of months now.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at it, and when we came into this season, it was always going to be a case of having a strong squad and having real competition with places. Everybody backs themselves to play, which I totally get, because I've been there. But there needs to be an understanding, and there is an understanding that at the moment, where, like I say, we're in a good place. Players are performing at a level that is allowing us to pick up the wins that we had, and they have the ultimate backing of everybody else that at the moment isn't able to grab that first team starting place, if you like, that everybody aspires to, but safe in the knowledge that they will be required, and they have to be ready to go and hit the ground running. We are going to be affected in terms of team selection through, again, you look for after the weekend, Tuesday, Odin can't play, so there needs to be a change there. We then go into a week with an FA Cup tie on a Sunday and a EFL Trophy tie, which will be changed to a Wednesday, both away from home. So there'll be alterations in what those teams look like. We then go into a real tough run of league fixtures over the back end of December and New Year period. So everyone will be required. Like I say, hopefully we don't need them in a desperation way where we're losing lots of players, but I can say pretty safely that everyone will play games through December, and we're going to keep this run going.
And with no Odin next Tuesday, obviously Ryan Crowsdale at the minute just a booking away from a game suspension. Is that a particular conversation to have with him going into that weekend in terms of that walking that tightrope?
No, not really, because he's been walking that tightrope for the last probably 5 games, I think. So it is what it is. Like I say, you have to deal with things that are placed in front of you, whether that's injury, whether it's suspension, whether it's an unavailability, whatever it is, you got to deal with it. And I suppose coming over those moments makes you stronger. So if we have that challenge ahead of us, then so be it. You take it as an opportunity to achieve something else. We hope it's not the case, because we'd love to be in a situation where we have everybody available to select. But that's blue sky thinking, and unfortunately doesn't happen over the course of a season, and for us certainly isn't going to happen.
He'll be all right as long as he doesn't pick the ball up like he did there last year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a unique moment, shall we say. Although I will back up the fact that I definitely heard a whistle. I still probably wouldn't have picked the ball up, but hey, each their own.
You obviously have the chance now to break this record, the consecutive wins in League Two, taking it to 13. Is that something you talk about as staff, talk about to the players, or is it just 3 points on Saturday, the main focus?
Bit of both. So undoubtedly we'll talk about it to the players, because you ultimately want to give that extra motivation, if you like, to say that, all right, we've equal the record? Can you break that record? Can you look further ahead and look for the EFL record of 14 games? Can you beat that? Because it would be great for the group to have that recognition in terms of achieving something, but ultimately that will only result in us being closer to where we want to be, and the ultimate consequence of that hopefully is that this group gets promoted and makes Stockport County a League One club. And when and if that happens, then the fact that you hold or have equalled a record and have the potential of beating a record in the AFL that stood for a long time is just an added bonus. We'll be doing everything we can to win on Saturday, but that's not different to any other Saturday or Tuesday. It's just the next game, and if we can win the next game, it takes us 3 points closer to what total we want to try and get to.
And regardless of when that run comes to an end, be it in Saturday or be it in 2 months' time, it's been a remarkable run just to get to this point. What's the secret? It's
been an amazing run. I don't know that there are huge secrets. I think we try and be really consistent in our messages. We try and be really consistent in our values and what we ask and expect of each other. The players have been consistent in terms of their performances, but also they've found different ways. So whether that be having to change in game in terms of what their shape might look like, whether that's adversity, whether that's going behind, whether that's dealing with injuries, whether that's dealing with things that potentially go against you in little moments, we've managed to, like I say, find ways to win. That's always going to give you the confidence and increase that belief moving forwards. I don't think we've been a great deal different, but we're on a brilliant run, and we want that to continue for as long as possible. And when that does end, the message will still be the same in terms of where we're at. We want to try and continue it and try and push it for as long as we can, and try and amass points as quickly as possible when you are in a good run and belief is really high, and things then tend to go in your favour. But as soon as that doesn't happen, then you move on quickly to the next game regardless.
And when you look at the league table, it's probably another game count. There's always going to be an expectation on County as the league leaders to go there and win, but Newport, certainly in terms of the forward players, Omar Bogle and Evans up top, they certainly have threats of their own. County will have to look out for.
They absolutely have threats. And if we, as we know, we'll never go away from the fact that if we're not at our best, then you give the opportunity for teams to cause problems. And from our side of it, you can say that the expectation from outside of here will be the team that have won 12 on the bounce go to a team that isn't in the best run of form. It makes absolutely no difference. They are on the day capable of beating anybody in the league, just as we are. We know that if we can produce the levels that we have over the recent past, then we give ourselves a good chance of winning the game. But totally respect what they will do and what the questions they will ask of us. We've got to deal with that first and foremost, and try and stamp the type, or make the game the type of game that we want it to be, in order to give ourselves the best chance of winning.
Appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
Welcome. Cheers. Thank you.